17-9's our score. Dowling leads Valley here. It was a Finn Doherty 24-yard field goal that got the scoring started in the second quarter. It was no score after one quarter here. And that was at the 9:58 mark, and then there was just a lot of scores. Let's find out, Seth Drury, what did Coach Wilson have to say here as he was leaving the field?
Well, he kind of just talked about the slow start, and I think a lot of it, due to the big game, kind of emotions running high, and, those false starts, tough to get started off. He said he was a little upset they weren't able to put points on the board after the, I guess, kind of an onside kick, whatever you want to call it. But the defense held, and really they had to dial back their offensive plan a little bit. And he said it was good to get the run started. Now they kind of have options all over the field. They saw what was able to work with that Nate Christian run. But obviously have a couple things they want to work on defense, and said that they'll monitor who's in the backfield for Valley, as both quarterbacks were able to have a little bit of success. But again, just kind of have to have a few adjustments on defense, but overall pretty happy with how his team responded after a slow start.
All right, Seth, we'll let you hand off the equipment to Keith, and we'll get to hear from his comments, at least on a Valley standpoint, how they saw the field. And Billy, quickly, Coach Wilson, what do you got to do at halftime here?
Yeah, I think you stick with your game plan. I don't think you really need to change a whole lot. I think, if the deep pass, you focus on your special teams, you got a little bit of momentum on the offense, but I'm interested to see what Keith thinks on the Valley end.
All right, let's go down to the sideline. Keith Bornes is with us here as he tries to get everything sorted out. Keith, what'd you hear at that as they work things out? 17-9, Angela Connolly will be with us in a moment. Angela's had a really good seat, and now she's just waiting to go. Keith Bornes is down with us. Keith, what'd you see in that first half?
Well, we saw a lot of back and forth on the offensive and defensive line, being aggressive on the line and trying to get a feel for each other as far as getting what offensive and defensive plays are going to work. One of the things that Valley is trying to really reestablish is getting a low pad and continuing to drive upfield. And the other thing, it's sometimes big plays are something that kill, but what's worse is if you don't have an answer to that big play. And Valley had an answer on the first one, but they didn't have an answer on the second one.
Keith, I want to ask you, Billy and I talked a lot about special teams. Dowling is clearly, I can count 4 plays alone just on the untrained eye that went Dowling's way in that first half.
Yes, we had some misfortune last week when we lost Cole Hahn, our freshman kicker, and so they're still trying to figure out which person they want to rely on in the special teams. And so we kicked, obviously, to the wrong guy a couple of times when on kickoffs. But you're right. When it comes down to the special teams play, we're just not getting down and covering the field well. When we get knocked off of our route or our zone or lane as we're covering the kickoff and punts, we're not getting back into our lane, and that is a big no-no when it comes to the special teams.
Keith, I just want to know, as a head coach, how much does the changing of the quarterbacks, how much is that going to affect the rhythm of the offense? And knowing that you are down your freshman kicker and knowing you're with your backup and a mixed extra point, is that going to weigh on a head coach's play-calling choices depending on the scenario, or are you going to stick with your game plan like everything would be normal?
I think he's going to stick with his normal game plan, especially with the way that Connor LeGrone came out and played. Having a big touchdown pass for Valley, that was a huge motivational lift and a confidence boost for him. And so I don't think that he needs to change anything. Connor's a little bit faster than Talon. Talon throws a little bit better ball, so they kind of balance each other out.
All right, Keith Bornes down on our sideline. Appreciate you both having a little bit of insight. We'll catch up with Keith in the postgame. Keith, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the game. See you in the postgame. Angela Connolly, finally, we get a chance to have a conversation. I know you've been waiting patiently. You're stuck in a small room with a bunch of smelly guys on this nice night, but how you doing?
I'm great. It was a great watching it from here.
Oh, I tell you what, you were cheering a couple of times. There is a rule, no cheering in the press box unless you went to that school.
I did.
And you did. You're an alum. St.
am.
Joseph's, is that right?
Correct. I was the last class from the academy.
Oh, I don't believe that.
I was.
That is hard to believe.
I know.
And does it seem like it's been, what was that, 5 years ago?
That sounds good.
Well, but you cheer for the Maroons. You come to a lot of these games. Any idea how many Valley Dowling games you've been to?
Too many to count, I'm sure. I don't know. I had 3 kids graduate, so we've been to many, plus all the ones that, they weren't there at school.
You were first elected as a Polk County Supervisor in 1998, and you've served. Your resume is incredible. Chair of the board 2000, 2003, 2006, 2009, 2012, which means you're due for 2015. Is that right?
Hopefully, if I get elected in 14.
Before that, you spent 19 years in planning and zoning and an active member in the Ask Me Local, active in many civic and community activities. What's one of your favorite ones to be a part of?
Well, last night I was at an award ceremony. I was honored last night at the Habitat for Humanity for housing. So I think that's my favorite thing to do, is making sure that everybody is home ownership means is a big thing, and when you see families really get a key for walking into their first home, it really means a lot and opens a lot of doors and opportunities. So I think affordable housing is really one of the key things for me.
And one of the things, I spent a lot of time at the state fair during that, and I know one year they did a Habitat for Humanity build there at the fair. When are we going to see that again?
That was a really popular thing. So I don't know. I'll have to talk to Lance about that. Hopefully he'll do that again.
I would imagine it's a hard thing to organize and get established and get everything in there. But it's one of those, talk about a great way to promote Habitat for Humanity. And people help, someone from Red Oak or Decorah can say, I built a home for Des Moines. Right.
Yeah. No, it meant a lot. And I didn't realize last night he has done his 200th home in Habitat right here in Des Moines. So he's growing every year, and we've got a lot of nonprofits doing great things in the greater Des Moines area.
Well, tell me about the Capitol Crossroads. What's that all about?
Well, that's really a vision for the next 5 years. Kara Hayden, retired CEO with Wells Fargo, and Jay Byers, the Greater Des Moines Partnership Executive Director, and I are co-chairs of that. And we've got 11 capitals. Really great things are happening in Des Moines, and really the outskirts of Des Moines goes out several miles, picks up all the different counties around, not just in Polk, but Dallas and Warren, all the way to Ames, really trying to unify the region. And, people have said, we've done surveys all over, we don't have mountains and we don't have oceans, but we've got great things going around in Greater Des Moines, and we're just trying to make that better. So there's a lot of great things going on, and we're just trying to make it better.
All right, how do you make it better if you're cheering for the Maroons here in the second half?
Well, this has been a great rivalry for years. I've got a son that's married a Valley Tiger, so there's always rivalry going on between this. It's just a great thing, really.
Who else? We had somebody in the. Now I can't remember. I want to say Chris Coleman has a Valley wife, and I might have gotten that wrong. We had somebody that it was a split rivalry as well, so it can exist. It's like
it does exist.
In Ankeny, you see all these house divideds. Well, now it's because of Centennial and Ankeny High, but you saw a lot of Hawkeyes and Cyclones, just like you do all across the metro.
That's right. It's okay.
It's okay. You're friends after the game, but during the game, you want to win.
Yeah. I'm sticking with the Maroons right now, but right afterwards, I still love West Des Moines Tigers.
Oh, I'm sure you do. All right, very good, Angela. I appreciate you being here and
Thanks
spending
for
time.
Having me.
Stop back anytime. Whenever you want to come on by, we'll have you here. That's Angela Connolly, Polk County Board of Supervisors, first elected in 1998. And Father Zakowski's going to sit down here and have a chat with me, and you can sit in the seat that Billy occupied. And hold on, I can't quite hear that, but Father, welcome back. Good to see you again. How you been?
Good to see you. Yeah, good to be back here again. What a beautiful night.
Is this the third or fourth?
This is my starting my fourth year.
I was thinking it was your
kind of
fourth
amazing.
already.
Going by very, very fast.
Well, you're from the area, from Perry, if I
remember. From Perry,
yeah.
And I'm the oldest of 5 kids. And all 5 of us went to Dowling High School. We're all graduates from there, and made that 45-minute drive every day, and it was worth it. It's a great school. And actually, my youngest brother, who graduated in 2009, got married on Friday night in Helena, Montana.
Oh.
So I got to do that wedding.
And then now you're here.
Now I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm everywhere.
You're the chaplain now at Dowling Catholic, entering your 4th year. You also serve another parish, if I remember correctly.
That's right. St. Augustine Parish, Des Moines, 42nd Street in Grant. So
nice location.
Very nice location. Close to Dowling, which is kind of nice, so I can pop over there. And I have weekend masses and confessions, and then get to visit the school occasionally, that's always fun, seeing the kids.
So what's the so you spend the majority of your time then at St. Augustine, or how?
Most of my time, I'm full-time during the week at Dowling, and I'm the chaplain there, and do a lot, talk to a lot of kids, and kind of available in the hallways, and then I teach a class as well for seniors. So that's been a good experience, just getting in the classroom, and great way to know the kids, just to teach theology and talk with them. So I got several football players in my class too, so that's good.
You're on the sideline for a lot of the games, or most of the game?
Most of the games,
You don't usually roam unless you're needed for an interview or something up here.
That's right.
The crazy box or something like that.
And Bishop Pates was down there, too, so I got to
I hadn't
be his bodyguard down there.
Oh, well, then that needs to be. Now, you, if I remember correctly, I saw a Skype with you. You, I believe, were in the Vatican when the Pope was selected. What was that like?
That's right, yeah. Last March 2013, I was with my brother in Rome, and we happened to be there. We were planning to go there for spring break and happened to be there when Pope Francis was elected. So we were waiting in St. Peter's Square, and it had rained for 2 days straight, and it was just miserable. There's tons of people there. And then really when that white smoke came announcing we have a new Pope, the rain just stopped and all the umbrellas shut, which was good. So that was exciting to be there.
And I assume you'd been to the Vatican,
I'd been
Vatican
there before.
City before, but just seeing it on television to seeing it in person, the last time that a Pope was picked, because you and I have been alive to see it twice. Not everybody gets to see that. What was it like from seeing it on television to seeing it in person?
Well, I think the experience you have of being there in the middle of those huge columns, and you just feel like the church is much bigger than my own parish, my own diocese. You really feel like this is a universal church, and tons of different languages and cultures and different people. So you really felt that when you had these people pressed up, right up against you, and there was someone next to me smoking, So I really, intimate experience of the church. Did
they know? I mean, how many other people were like you, a father not in the official capacity being over there, but you just kind of happened into it that you were there, but did you run into any other members of the clergy that were there at the same time?
Yeah, the church has got over 1 billion members, but it's amazing. I ran into several friends from seminary just in the square there, and that was just happenstance. Didn't even know they were going to be there, and so we met right there in the front by the gates because we were probably 150 feet away.
Now, don't tell me that it was happenstance. You're supposed to say that there was something else was at play there. Come on, Father.
That's right. Small miracle.
Well, best thing about being involved at Dowling Catholic for you as a father is what?
Oh, I think, you say
besides Billy Battistone.
Billy Battistone is wonderful, and he was dancing today at the Pep Assembly, which was highly entertaining. But, I think being a part of so many great families, it's like having multiple families. Today I was visiting one of our juniors, Connor Mason, who we need to pray for. He has brain cancer, and he's been fighting that for the last 2 years, and just the privilege of being with inspiring young people like him, and people, having joyful moments and sad moments too. Just, I think, being with people and being a father, as you say, I think that's the best part.
Well, that's what you're called to do.
That's right.
I mean, you're not there to, putting on the robe and doing Mass, that's part of it. Yeah. You're there for people.
And that's the most important part, but, certainly getting to know families and sitting down at their dinner table, that's a huge part of it too. So.
All right, we had a chance to talk with Ryan Osborne in the pregame show talking about the St. Joseph Cathedral, that's the Student Center. That's got to be kind of fun to be seeing that come from idea to paper and then hopefully soon reality.
That's right. Yeah, we're working on the St. Joseph Chapel, which will seat hopefully between 350 people or so, and we're very excited just to have that, to have more space and to have a really fitting, beautiful, worthy space. To have kind of an updated chapel, because the current space was kind of a temporary space, and so we're still in the design phase and fundraising, and so we would encourage people just to be generous if they're able to give to that. It'd be wonderful.
All right, Father. Good to see you again. Thank you so very much
for
coming in.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. God bless.
Thank you so much for being a part. Rush Nygett from Iowa Sports Connection's gonna. Don't even look at me, Rush. I know I got it wrong. Iowa Sports Spotlight. He's not even gonna sit down if I get that wrong. We're gonna look at some stats here in a moment. 17-9 Dowling Catholic leads Valley. Go ahead and put that on, Rush. Don't worry about what Pete gave you. We're just gonna have you put that thing on. What? Say it again. Rush Nygett. And I look at it, Rush, and I could do a joke with your name, Rush, but I won't. You're with Iowa Sports Spotlight and the boss now. Isn't that right? One of them?
That's right. Yes, I am.
Owner.
Correct.
Yeah. Hey, so what are you doing tonight? We talked to that Kotler guy. What's he doing now? He's texting. Come on. Get him to work.
Larry is doing a great job as one of our sideline reporters, and just, we're really lucky to have him on board.
What's the best Iowa Sports Spotlight? How many games do you have crews at tonight statewide?
Well, we have about 25 sideline reporters at games around the state, including as far as Iowa City Regina tonight and against Solon. We also have probably about 70 volunteers who are texting in scores, and with our website at sportspotlight.com and our radio show, you can catch all the scores of all the games across the state. In fact, the guys are really proud that before they get off the air at midnight, they'll have all the scores.
And sometimes before the association does. And that's something Tony and Ben have been very good at working at. Tonight, right now, the Maroons lead. They have 119 total yards. Valley 121. Is that a surprise to you?
It is a little bit of a surprise, but I'll tell you, the special teams play has obviously been the big story tonight, and these big returns, and then also the miscue with the extra point that could come back to haunt them. But what a game so far! It's been absolutely fun to watch.
Rico Gafford, 3 rushes, 24 yards. Boyle, 3 rushes for 19. Chase Dahl, 5 carries, 24. Nate Christian, 1 for 31. And that is the score for the Maroons, one of their touchdowns. The spotlight gets all over the state. You focus on Central Iowa. You talk about the kids, the peewees, the preps to the pros. Did I get that right?
Well, we're really now focused on Iowa high school sports.
There you go.
And so, we try to cover not only the larger schools, but also, right down to the 8-player schools in football. And then we also cover a lot of different sports, such as cross country and swimming, volleyball. So we really try to cover it all.
And there's no off season.
There is no off season. Our guys are really hard workers, and they do it. They are very passionate about what they do, and they're just remarkable and do a terrific job of highlighting and featuring high school athletes and scholars around Iowa. The other thing that I want to say is that we have some terrific sponsors such as Casey's and Hy-Vee, Bankers Trust, and Grinnell Mutual, who really have stepped up. It's difficult to run programming without sponsors,
right?
So we really have to thank those sponsors and many more.
And we appreciate your support of this broadcast as well.
Well, we're very happy to do it. We are very passionate, as I said, about what we're doing, and we think you guys are the same. And it's just fun to see these kinds of sports on the web, and it's really neat that we can do these types of things.